All right, we're going to repair this damage on this leather wrapped steering wheel. We're going to start with cleaning with some alcohol. 70% isopropyl is okay, but you're fine. It's actually even better to work with something like 90%. All right. So leather repairs beautifully with sandpaper and super glue. The worst one of these is this guy, because it's kind of, it almost needs to be picked out, that little edge curled up, kind of flattened out. And I like to measure out my super glue onto a piece of cardboard. Come and get a little dab on a needle or a toothpick, but needles are stronger and hold up better. And work a very thin bead in there. Wipe off any excess and then come in and flatten it out, crush it down. And I've kind of made a mess of this, and that's okay. I'm going to use like a flattening tool and just press the heck out of it, but don't linger. Now, that's okay. We're going to sand off all of this in a minute. I'm going to go back in and kind of just tack down any other flappy bits. You either want to tack them down or cut them away and then fill the gap. All right. Now I'm going to come in and lay just another little bead. You got a paper towel, kind of wipe away any excess, and then very quickly jump in. I've got 320 grit wet or dry sandpaper, and I'm going to sand in the direction of the original tear. And now I'm going to cut across, kind of just back and forth, and then close your eyes and feel it. And I'll come back to this one, clean that off, and then proceed with the rest. And it might take a few passes. And this one right here is actually quite deep. When you get a gouge that's deep on leather, as long as there's not much flexibility, I mean, there's not a lot of movement of this leather over the substrate. I'm going to smooth it out, kind of get a level. Made a mess of that, but it's okay. I'll sand off most of it. This is baking soda. And a tiny bit of baking soda catalyzes the super glue, makes like an epoxy, which for something that moves a lot, where the leather is moving freely over the substrate, you wouldn't want to use this. But for something like a steering wheel, a rigid epoxy is okay. As a void filler. And it's going to need some more in there. And always let your fingers be the judge. If you've still got dips, which I kind of do right here. And as you get to the kind of the final layer of super glue, you can pat it out as I did to almost create texture and then gently sand. All right, and then I like to come in and polish with some 500 grit. And then another, just wipe off your dust. This still has alcohol on it. All right, so here is a custom color that we have mixed. We've yet to bottle it, but we will, all the excess. And we are trying to color change to a brown. So it's really clear now where the damage remains and where we, like this actually looks like it could be filled a little more. These maybe just need better texturizing. And you can actually, at least with the super glue, this super glue sandpaper method, you can go right over the paint. And I think I'll stick with the 500 this round. All right, now I'm going to be a little bold. Just do a couple of big dabs for texturizing and just blend it all. And still a slight variation. I could continue to rework that. I might actually just cheat and do a coat, because I have it, of this great product called Chip Guard. It's actually kind of a bumper coater. But I've been using it for years on leather and vinyl. I've been getting great results with it. The exception, of course, is polyurethane bonded leather, ultra leather. Nothing sticks to that. But for this instance, it's a perfect solution. So I'm just going to clean off any excess paint on the surface for now. And if you have to be a little cautious with this stuff. You don't want to lay it on too thickly in most instances. I'll put that in there to mask. You want kind of a nice fine mist. And even that's, so if you stand farther away, you'll get that. And I might just leave it at that, let it dry. All right, so I've actually loaded this custom color into a spray gun because it's gonna make my life easier. And I'm just gonna gently, whoop. I always get so distracted with filming that I actually screw up my steps. I normally would have done a very gentle buffing of the crinkle sprayed surface with sandpaper before spraying, but it actually looks really good. You could gently sand it down if you want a little more and spray again, but I think this looks quite lovely.